The author says on the next page that we have these four powers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created them and placed them in us. The author says that if I were to put my intellect in charge, if the intellect is the boss, then the rest of the three powers will all flourish and they will produce good. They will all behave because the intellect will keep them in check. But that's only if I allow my intellect to control me. On the contrary, if not, if I allow my anger to control me, my desires to control me, my imagination and illusion and cunning and sly as Muawiyah did to control me, then all the other three will be destroyed. All the other three, they will be potentially dangerous. They may have potentially dangerous consequences and they can, go out of control. The power of anger, if I don't put limits on it through the aql, then it could destroy my life. How many people, they commit crimes, they kill other people because it was that minute of rage and anger that they had. They didn't think logically, they thought with their anger, and that had tragic consequences. Likewise, desires. So many people commit crimes and they commit misdeeds, they commit haram sins because of their greed, because they want dunya, they want money, any of the desires that the human being enjoys. They wanted that through the haram way, and that's why they ruined their dunya. As you see, Umar ibn Sa'ad that ordered Imam Hussein alayhi salam to be killed, when Yazid asked him that, it was his greed. He told himself, Hussein is the grandson of the Prophet, how can I kill him? But then he said, what? I want to govern right. He wanted to become the governor of right. This was what Ibn Ziyad and Yazid had promised him. Kill Hussein and we will allow you to become the governor of right, which is present-day Tehran in Iran. So it was because of his greed to rule, to govern, then he killed Imam Hussein alayhi salam, committed such a great and grave act, grave sin. So the author says there's always a struggle between these four: the power of intellect, rage, anger, desire, and imagination or illusion. Each one of these four wants to control me. And he says the three latter ones, rage, desire, and imagination, if they are the ones that rule me, then my life will be destroyed. It will have so many negative consequences for me and for other people. But once you let the aql control, everything will fall into place. So we have to be careful, brothers and sisters, and we have to reevaluate our lives. What really drives me? When I make decisions, was it purely based on intellect, or was it based on personal desire, personal benefits, rage, imagination? I live this life of illusion. I think I'm better than everybody else. I always make exceptions for myself. I always justify my acts. What is really controlling me? Only then I can assess my life. So your character is determined by the result of the struggle, the war between these four. Here I want to read the hadith that you see in front of you. The hadith is narrated from Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. The Imam is narrated saying, هبط جبرائيل على آدم فقال. Jibra'il, the angel, came down upon Prophet Adam one day and he told him, Ya Adam, إني أمرت أن أخيرك واحدة من ثلاث فاخترها ودع اثنتين. I have been ordered, this is Jibra'il, the angel, telling Adam, I have been ordered by Allah to give you the ability, or to give you the opportunity to choose between one of three. I will give you three things, you can choose only one of them. So choose one of them and you will lose the second two. You won't have the second two. So Adam asked him, Ya Jibra'il, وَمَا الثَّلَاث? What are these three things? Jibra'il told him, فَقال العقل, number one, aql. You can have the power of intelligence. This is when Allah initially created Adam. Number two, al-haya. Haya is shame, that feeling of shame. This was the second thing, which is a good feeling, of course, which deprives us or prevents us from committing certain, unlawful and immoral acts. And number three, ad-deen, religion. So choose faith. Number one, intellect. Number two, shame and respect and honor. Number three, faith and religion. Which one do you want? Now, Adam saw, this is a pretty tough question because obviously he wants all three of them. He wants aql, intellect. He wants faith, religion. And he wants, obviously, shame and honor and dignity. So he thought until he said, you know what? I choose the first one, عقل, intellect. قال إني قد اخترت العقل. Look at what happened. فقال جبرائيل للحياء والدين انصرفا ودعاه. So he told shame, as if shame is an entity, maybe symbolically he was speaking. He told shame and the third one, faith and religion, he told them leave because Adam has chosen intellect over you two. So this is when they replied to him, these two entities, shame, haya and deen, religion. يا جبرائيل إنا أمرنا أن نكون مع العقل حيث كان فشأنكما. They told Jibra'il, we can't leave intellect because we have been ordered by God to always stick to intellect. Meaning if someone thinks logically with intellect, he will always make the decisions that will keep his shame in contact, his respect and dignity, and also faith. Meaning, if you have intellect, you get everything else. It's, you buy one thing, you get the rest free because your intellect tells you have dignity, have honor, have shame. Your intellect tells you have faith. Remember in the hadith of Imam Sadiq, he told that companion when he defined what aql is what leads you to God. So have aql, you get everything. So they told Jibra'il, no, we're here to stay because if you have aql, you have everything else. You have haya and you have deen. But if you have, for example, haya, only shame, you may not necessarily have faith and aql. If you have just faith, for example, you may not have the other ones. So Adam made the wisest decision, which is kind of ironic because it shows that he had intellect, that he made this wise decision, or else how did he? So anyway, this shows us that the power of intellect is the most important power. If you have it, you get everything that's good. If you don't have it, everything else is ruined. It's going to be chaos, anger, and desire, and imagination, and illusion. They will all entangle the human being and embroil him and lead to so many negative consequences.